I think that was just a piece of heart on the lumberjack cave. I realize no one can hear us, but keeping track of these sort of things is good.
All right, Gyarados immediately going into escape, which is kind of an interesting play. I'm not entirely sure I agree with it, although the results will speak for themselves. The reason I don't really agree with it is because it's entirely possible to get stuck down here and only really get 2 items.
Yeah.
And
Or even one if you're unlucky enough to get both the key and the map.
well, I was assuming he was going to do the Death Warp and do the Dark Room, but he did get a key, which means he'll be able to clear out this entire area.
Yeah.
So that's good. Typically, I still think he should have gone to Eastern or South Hyrule Shore first. But
or how about stinking Kakariko Village?
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe he's just trying to get like an early advantage.
Yeah.
Again,
a lot of times you like to do sort of an off-the-wall play to sort of, counteract the perceived skill of the other player. Though I think these players both have about roughly the same level.
Yeah, it is interesting. Like I would expect something like this against like Andy or Christos, but it is kind of strange, I feel.
All right, so g3rd0 picks up the big key, gets the large heart in Zelda's chest, and more large hearts in Blind's hut.
Interestingly enough, he didn't even decide to go.
It totally is. Sorry.
Yeah, he just decided to leave, which is strange to me. I'm surprised he didn't do the Death Warp.
You've got mail. The blue mail, that is. That's what SuperNinTaylor has.
SuperNinTaylor. Oh, he did get his first sword. Looks like he's doing a pretty standard Kakariko route. Just took the south loop to get to the main area, which
sees something
Gyarados
he
also
likes
doing.
on the maze game.
I guess we haven't actually seen much of Kakariko so far, but
right.
So far, like we're 5 minutes in. It's strange to only have a sword.
Yeah, that's a power glove.
It's pretty bad.
Power glove. It is pretty bad. It's also pretty necessary.
Yeah, it's pretty useful to have.
Indeed.
I guess NinTaylor took the. Strangely enough, NinTaylor didn't seem to take the North Loop despite starting at Sanctuary. I think that was because he didn't get a bomb drop.
It was lack of bombs. He had to go purchase some. So, and then he just picks up all of them in the Kakariko well.
Yep, looks like our runners also have flippers. That, with the early Houlihan check, will probably give g3rd0 a bit of an advantage.
You can get up to that 500 rupee count. That makes the trip to Zora a lot less painful.
Something I kind of wish I did for the randomizer would be to make the rupees in Houlihan Cave respawn.
Nice.
It's pretty uncommon these days.
Wouldn't they respawn if you saved, quit, reset the game?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they stay gone. But it was weird. The first randomizer race I've ever seen, which was like an exhibition match between Andy and Christos before the main tournament in the spring. The first race had a rupee lock because they had to go to Zora. It's pretty uncommon now to see rupee locks, though.
Yeah. And if they want to farm rupees, they can always go to that cave near the desert for another 50 at a time, because they've got that glove. But that being said, we've still got, Mini Moldorm. We've got plenty of other places to go.
Yep, I expect they'll find enough to go on. And SuperNinTaylor here is going into the backside of Escape to see what g3rd0 skipped out on earlier.
And we got 20 rupees. The cane!
Yep, we got Phantom Ryu's cane, the best cane in the game.
I'm told that if you examine the fine print, you will find out that it is in fact required to be cane.
Is that a g3rd cane
It
impression?
It is.
That's good. So SuperNinTaylor is also going into Escape, which is again interesting, since he already got, what was it, 3 of the items?
Yeah. Well, I think it might have been g3rd0 who already went down here.
Right. Well, I mean, he went to the backside and already got 3 items out of the 5.
Right.
People are shunning the Hyrule South Shore lately. I'm not really seeing why.
Strange. Well, I think they want to see if they can pick up those rupees, because they're both going for they both have flippers, so they know they're going to try to do the Zora play.
That is true. I didn't think about that at the start. g3rd0's not too far away from the 500, but I don't think he's going to get it unless there's a 300 drop on the South Shore. Which, I mean, there's, I think, 5 of them in the game. It's not at all unheard of.
I've seen 300s in that waterfall cave. Makes you feel pretty good.
It makes me kind of annoyed if I went to the trouble of getting 500 before going there.
Wow. Friendly triangle. That was good. That was good. But we all know that the cocaine is the powder.
Yeah. Although I never saw cocaine turn anybody into a dancing pickle before.
Clearly you've not been around enough people who have been on cocaine. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
So, what are you a doctor of?
Not medicine.
Okay.
Also not chemistry. So none of that. In all actuality, computer science, if you must know, but nobody likes. Nobody's surprised by that.
Yeah. It's a good thing to have. g3rd0 is not going to be shunning this full heart, which I approve of. Even though he has the blue mail, it's still pretty easy to die with only 6 hearts.
All right, so yeah, that blue, the extra heart is always welcome, at least from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, and you don't know as a runner if the seed is just going to start being incredibly stingy when it comes to hearts.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that mini Moldorm cave was extremely kind to g3rd0. It was real fast. He does have the cane, I believe. So, and there's the silver arrows
and the fire rod.
Ooh!
That is a pretty hype cave.
Burninating the countryside and the peasants. Okay, so the stun drop is a heart today.
Not that important, but could be useful if they ever need it.
I feel like that's a gauntlet play. Like if you're running low on hearts, be like, I'm gonna stun these guys.
Yeah, hopefully by then you'll have like 14 hearts and powder and maybe a few bottles. But extra hearts in Ganon's tower is never a bad thing.
Indeed. So, silver arrows. Those silver arrows were in the exact same chest this morning in the race I commentated. Speaking of the powder,
Yeah, the powder.
there it is over in the Ice Rod Cave.
That's interesting, especially if we'll see Hammer sometime soon.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, because SuperNinTaylor did not go over to the Ice Rod Cave. He just jumped right into the lake. So that could be a big deal. You never know.
So Gyarados just quit out after Ice Rod Cave, and I don't know if he's going directly to escape or if he's gonna go into. Looks like he's just gonna do escape. I was gonna say it is probably faster to quit out, start at Link's house, and then walk to Hylia, and then jump in if you have the flippers. But
yeah,
I don't disagree with this. V26 early Eastern is like it's like a ritual at this point. You don't skip it.
All right, friendly triangle, you old sap. You might be barking up the wrong tree.
Not really.
All right, I'm done. I'm done. For now.
Not really getting much of worth in Srala's house there, or his hut, I should say. But I think Eastern's gonna have something. What they have right now, like outside of Zora, like hasn't unlocked anything.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so going into Eastern Palace, because Eastern Palace, regardless of its crystal or pendant status, seems to be a destination for all players today.
Oh, he did get his baby shield, his Fisher Price monogrammed shield from that chest.
Yep, guaranteed to protect you from tridents, arrows, and that's it.
Pretty useful to have, honestly. It's very underrated.
Yeah, but the fire shield is the best one. Sort of.
It's the best, it looks the best.
The fire shield, I feel, gives you the most advantage from one shield to the next. So there's the Ether Medallion in Eastern Palace.
Early Ether doesn't mean much. One strat I love to use is Ether inside of the Moldorm Cave, the mini Moldorm Cave.
That's pretty impressive, yeah.
It just insta-kills everything, and it takes like 5 seconds.
So I actually like using Ether here in Eastern Palace, specifically in the dark room in the back. Because it freezes the little squiggly guys, and so that helps you see the layout of the room.
That is actually that is useful. I'll have to remember that. And we get
There's
the Moon
Pearl
inside Eastern, which again, it doesn't help them just yet. They still need either mitts or a hammer, or a cape or a master sword to get anywhere. But the early Eastern check, paying off. It's rarely not worth it in V26.
Oh yeah. So SuperNinTaylor heading into this wonderful Stalfos room. That's a pretty interesting trick how that works with the Stalfos there.
Yeah, it's actually surprisingly easier than it looks sometimes.
Yeah. Most people who watch this for the first time think you have to run in there, grab the pot as fast as you can, and get to the thing, and then throw it. And they're like, if you don't do it fast enough, they'll spawn in the wrong spot. That's not true. You have all the time you want to do it. It's not based on that. It's based on where you enter the sort of central tile area, and it's kind of cool because basically the layout of the room is what causes it, because they attempt to spawn around you in sort of a cardinal direction shape, but the one north of you would spawn off the floor, so it doesn't, and the one south of you would spawn on top of the pot, so it doesn't. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I actually didn't know how it worked. I just looked at a tutorial and it told me like where to go and where not to go, and then I just learned it.
Yeah, and then so the other thing is, I learned the other day, if you stun one of them while it's still invisible, it counts as dead.
Interesting. So Gyardo decided to do the Lake Hylia play. I mean, it's not really a play at this point. It's more or less the only other option other than Agina's Cave.
He has 7 rupees left before he has enough for Zora.
Yeah, he's got to hope for at least a big 20 in one of these chests coming up, or start farming crabs.
Yeah, we'll see the Great Zora Massacre of 2017.
Oh, it's the Sank Heart and a normal full heart in that Waterfall of Love.
And SuperNinTaylor is getting that Houlihan room now with the slightly different strat.
Yeah, he's going to be a bit low as well, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to be about 23 or so short. 22? Yeah, okay. So the Quake medallion.
2 medallions right off the bat kind of worries me when I see that. Because it just makes me think it's going to be an early Turtle Rock or an early Mire.
Yeah.
If they get the bow... Ooh, you get a big 20 on Gyardo's side.
Nice.
And,
so 20 rupees from a Zora drop, and that will open up the final transaction here in Zora's domain.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm pretty sure it's a 50-50 on whether or not it's this or Agina's Cave that has progression.
Zora comes up and says, I need about 350.
Oof.
Except it's 500.
Is there anything else that these guys haven't checked but Agina's Cave?
Well, they could sequence break to Death Mountain.
Right.
I
think it's just Agina's Cave at this point.
Yeah. That's really strange.
We'll see where Gyardo goes. I mean, he's going off in the same direction. Actually, he might not have checked the swamp at this point.
I believe both players checked the dam.
Okay.
So SuperNinTaylor doing his Zora Massacre, getting up to 503.
It's rare to see a seed like this where you have to go to Agina this early. Like, it's not that uncommon to see progression in Agina's Cave, but it is kind of this rare to see required progression like 20 minutes in.
Indeed. All right, so g3rd0 heading into Agina's Cave. And you just never know. It's the lamp.
So, honestly, like with the fire rod, they didn't need that. Like,
right.
They could have just...
But now they know that Death Mountain is not a sequence break, so they can go up there and mess around up there.
But there's also, I'm pretty sure
there's also the sewer chest. You're right.
Yeah, so that could bite them.
Not there.
With what they have currently, they can get approximately, what, 2 items? Not even, 2 items.
Yeah, 2.
Here.
So, we're thinking vanilla mirror or something to get them to Hera?
Maybe a hook shot from the old man.
Yeah, well, hook shot opens too much. We got to make sure it's a slow burn. All right, so g3rd0.
Oh,
gonna go rescue this old man.
SuperNinTaylor also didn't check Ice Rod Cave.
Yep.
So
Gonna
he's
get that
wasting
powder.
a lot more time having to return there. Note to any kids
How about
around.
hammer?
Okay, that still doesn't get, or no,
that
gets
doesn't
up to
open
the bat.
anything up here, but it opens up actual Dark World.
Right. I forgot about the glove for a second, but the bat could have progression too. But yeah, note to any kids out there: never skip Ice Rod Cave. It's always a bad play.
Yeah, basically, until it's not.
Right.
But yeah, I do like it when there's something cool in Ice Rod Cave, because then somebody's gonna skip it. And it turns out there's always something cool in Ice Rod Cave, because it's cold in Ice Rod Cave.
Gyarados, I like this route, just going directly to the Hype Cave area. This way, I think is especially good if he finds the flute sometime soon.
Yeah, I like this route with the I like this route without the mitts. Right?
I think it might be even better with the mitts, honestly. Well, maybe not. It's good if you don't have the mitts, and it's good if you have the mitts and have the flute, because that way, the dwarf blacksmith, that's easy to do, assuming you have the mirror.
All right, I think that's our first bottle.
Interesting. And
there's a bow.
And another bottle.
All right, bows, bottles, bucks.
So this is another Hype Cave, apparently. The Disappointment Cave. Disappointed, not this time.
So if you pick up the bow here, are you heading straight to Pod, or are you going west?
Hammer and bow kind of screams Palace of Darkness, especially when you have the lamp.
Yeah, but it looks like g3rd0 is going to check some of this overworld, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, if he could do Thieves Town, if it's a crystal, I think that would be worth it as well.
Mr.
And he also
J.R.
picks up
Stumpsman has the Brian cane.
Yeah, the worst cane in the game, but it's okay. We got the best one as well.
Cane of Brian.
I mean, it's good. It's just not as good as the other one.
Right.
So it's the worst one.
That is true. I mean, I like it. I like all the safety items in this game because of bad.
SuperNinTaylor picking up his hammer, and he'll be off to the Dark World as well.
All right, we got 5 digs for a bomb upgrade.
Yeah, 5 digs is nice. I'm like perpetually cursed. I always get like 30, like the full 30.
Full 30 sounds great. And by great, I mean not even.
Interestingly enough, gyr0's just gonna be going to the Village of Outcasts, not really falling for the Palace of Darkness play, or Mullet Mansion as it's. I hear it's called that.
It is. It might have been me who came up with that. Well, the mullet part. Mullet Mansion, I think was iBasilly's contribution.
Yeah, so gyr0's going immediately to the Mad Batter to see if he can get something good from him, but at this rate, I don't know. Like, I understand he's probably going to go directly to Village of Outcasts after this, but unless this is something great, it just feels bad to walk all the way down here.
Yeah. I mean, he could also be making the meme play of going for Skullwoods.
That is true. He's going to succumb to memes.
The thing is, it's a meme, but it's a meme with a reason.
Yeah,
because Skullwoods is usually a good play nowadays.
I don't know. I'm not seeing that love whenever I go into Skullwoods. I'm only seeing like the love in the heart piece.
Yeah. Well, variety. I guess I could have confirmation bias. But...
So we got a shovel here from the sick kid, interestingly enough.
Fetch quest from Fetch Quest.
Yeah. What's kind of annoying is It's kind of annoying is he doesn't have a mirror, so it's going to be an annoying thing to check until he gets that. So he probably won't even go out of his way. I would assume we're going to see either Thieves Town right now or Skull Woods. I believe we also got a map check with Palace of Darkness, Turtle Rock, and Misery Mire all having pendants. And if I were a runner in this race, I would be very relieved that I already found the red cane. The reason being, I mean, you know, but I'm going to explain. The reason being is that it's very possible for the red cane to be required for Ganon's Tower. It's not guaranteed to be required. It's like a, what? 5
out of 22. So there are 5 chests that you need the Cane of Samaria to access on the lower floors.
Yeah. So all these bootless seeds you see where it's like, oh, people are like, oh, it's a 1 in 22 chance, like 5 in 22. How about that?
Yeah, you're looking at, almost 25%. And so at that point, you're really shaking in your boots.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Turtle Rock was also the green.
Assuming you can find them.
Yeah, that's not guaranteed in this version, unfortunately. I mean, it technically is, but,
It is guaranteed that you will be able to access every item in the game by the end of the game. But it is not guaranteed that you will be able to access every item in the game by the time you get all 7 crystals.
Yep. Gyarados did a nice bomb jump there, first try, to get a big 20.
Yep, that's a bomb jump with a pretty small window of leeway. I think it's like 2 pixels.
Right. If you have boots and do the bomb jump method, I believe it's a 6-pixel window. Without boots and you're just standing there, it's 2 going upward across a gap like that.
The other day I managed to do the downward bomb jump in the what's it called, the Spectacle Rock Cave. And that was really cool.
Yeah, that's something I think I should probably learn at some point. And we also get a Master Sword here in Skull Woods. So Skull Woods is paying off, kind of. I mean, who knows where the other sword upgrades are? They could be in Palace of Darkness for all we know.
Let's see.
He's also going directly to Mothula, which, I mean, he has to do it at some point, so why not now? With Blue Mail, 9 or 10 hearts, and Fire Rod, I think he should be more or less fine.
Go directly to Mothula. Do not pass Thieves Town. Do not collect 200 rupees.
Also, he does have, I believe, a fairy in a bottle and a blue potion, if need be.
Yep.
He is a little dangerously low on magic in this room. Should probably cool his jets a bit.
Well, maybe he's planning on using that blue potion for all I know.
It might not be the worst idea. He has money. Like 110 of that is earmarked, but I'm sure he'll find some more. But if he also doesn't have the flute to make his way to Witch pretty easily.
I'm gonna say probably 140. Right. I don't think he's done the chess game either. But I do believe he did the digging.
Oh, that is true. He didn't do the chest game yet, so that's another, what, 20?
30, I think.
Yeah, 30. So in his effective rupees right now is about, well, 300
how about
more.
A metric butt ton.
So yeah, no blue potion needed either. That was a pretty solid Mothula fight. Mothula, Master Sword, control so much, but being pretty nice that fight.
All right, so with that, I think it's time to calculate the pedestal hype index.
Do we have to?
Today's pedestal hype index might be pretty low.
Hookshot?
Hookshot is the one item I can see.
Boots, maybe?
Boots are a possibility. given some boot-locked desert or Ganon's Tower.
What about? Oh no. I guess none of the medallions or bombos couldn't be in either.
I think both.
And if it is, it wouldn't be useful.
I think both players have access to the Cane of Brian right now, as well.
The mirror could easily be on the pedestal.
The mirror. Oh my, that is a possibility. I had not considered that, but the only dungeon that requires the mirror is Swamp Palace.
So another thing, we could have a paradox pedestal, and flute could be in Ganon's Tower. But we also have the hook shot. The hook shot
is in Thieves Town.
Is a really good thing to have, especially without boots.
And so now, the east side of Light World Death Mountain is open. If they find the mitts, then the rest of it's open.
Yeah, getting the hook shots and not having the mirror at this point, I would probably go immediately to East Death Mountain.
Unfortunately, Ice Rod can't be at pedestal because you'd have to have it to kill Trinex.
Yep, that's good. Good for pedestal hype. So SuperNinTaylor is also missing the powder right now. I doubt he's gonna have any trouble.
No, he got it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did go to the Ice Rod Cave. Okay, the tracker isn't showing it. So with the powder, he's not gonna have any problems in this dungeon. There's so many things you can powder to get health if you need it. Plus, he also has blue mail and 11 hearts.
Now, this particular hallway is, not really conducive to breathing, but
yeah. It's also an extra pain not having boots. Like having boots, and you get like the God Pixel, just feels so good. Just dash right through everything.
You get that off chance of just being real good and just dashing right down the line. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case today. SuperNinTaylor carefully making his way through the hallway I like to call Grasshopper Alley.
Yeah, this part of the dungeon I think is very scary.
It's less scary with blue mail and tons of hearts.
Yeah. But there's so many times where you're playing a seed and you got green mail and like 5 hearts or 6 hearts going through Thieves Town. And these things do 2 hearts of damage with green mail. So they are no joke.
And just to spite you, no sword.
Ugh.
That's the worst. Because their behavior is pretty unpredictable. They can kind of get in your way.
So these guys are pretty much on a death march till the end of Thieves Town. Like this part of the dungeon is just like a ritual. You just do it. There's like no thought or anything. The only thought is like how many items have you found? Like if you haven't found both the map and compass, you could skip out checking a room. But as of right now, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Although,
did SuperNinTaylor not pick up the lady?
SuperNinTaylor did not pick up blind. I think he just realized it, thankfully.
Wait a minute. I mean, you might as well just go open that chest.
Yeah.
I guess you just got a little flustered, like, wait, what?
I would be flustered too by blind's beauty. But went back, got her, and now we're going to be seeing what's in this room. Strangely enough, he probably should have just done this room.
Yeah.
And then...
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, you might as well just go in, grab the thing, then come back out. But yeah. So, little known fact, this particular dungeon, to open it, you don't actually have to have any mitts, right? You can open it without mitts. And that room where you have to lift the little block to go through, you
Mhm.
don't have to lift the block either.
Right,
If you
right.
kill all the enemies in that room, the door to the left opens and you can go around.
Yeah, we had
I used to think it blocked me at one point.
maybe maybe it's because actually I don't even know. Because in the GBA version, that block actually requires mitts. um,
Hmm.
yeah, so you had to go around it in vanilla,
Ah, interesting.
which I guess is good. Is they probably made it so you would actually see the entire dungeon, because so many players would probably just go pick up that thing with their power glove, which they assuredly have at that point, and then and then just not even see the rest of the dungeon. Or that long conveyor belt room with the nice troll room if you enter the top door. This game has like so many rooms that you don't ever see in a race, even in like in randomizer. You might see some of it in like entrance randomizer.
Yeah, but even then, there's a lot of stuff you don't see in entrance rando.
Right. There's a lot of places, even in entrance randomizer, that you just enter, and you don't recognize it, and then you immediately leave because you don't recognize it.
It's like, I have no idea what this is. There's nothing here. Let's go.
But Gyarados not taking blind out without any real trouble. SuperNinTaylor also, yeah, no trouble. I mean, blind is, it's kind of a meme that blind is like the boss that casual players find the hardest, but like speedrunners of the game, like NMG players, find the easiest because
Yeah.
it's pretty consistent if you can get it down. If you're like one frame off of hitting blind, I think his pattern can change. So
Yeah, it's not. It is a pretty stringent fight if you know if you're trying to set it up for the strict scripted fight. But that being said, the strict scripted fight, uh, you're not that far off.
right.
The variations it introduces are in fact pretty minor.
Yeah. So Gyarados in here in the Wall of Caves, aka Paradox Cave, because one of the entrances is below the other, and also
There's
finds the flute.
It's flute time.
That is really good, especially well, it's quote unquote good. And the reason I say quote unquote is because I believe that that's like a 2/3 chance of opening Mire at this point. They do have the bow with silvers, so it's not that big of a deal. But clearing Mire to find 2 items in it can be a real pain.
Yeah, I feel Mire will be a late play. I would go to Palace of Darkness before I went to Mire. Let's put it that way. This Palace of Darkness has a lot more items.
Yeah. Our last
There's the
medallion.
Bombos medallion.
That is interesting.
So we know where it is. You have to have the mirror and the mitts to get to it at this point.
Right, and you also need, yeah, you need the mitts. And at this point, if he wanted to venture into Turtle Rock, like, I honestly don't see Gyarados coming back here until he finds the mirror.
Yeah.
just to ensure that you have access to Turtle Rock.
All right, so there's the big key in the basement, or in the first basement of Hera, there, and so that means we won't necessarily have to be going downstairs, but there's the small key to facilitate that option.
Yeah, SuperNinTaylor cutting the vines in the wall for good measure. Probably looking for another hidden room. I wonder how many players, like, the first time they cut open like the vines or the curtains, just went around cutting up every single one.
Yeah, I'm not saying that was me, but it might have been.
So Gyarados is going through Tower of Hera. It's starting to look pretty grim to not check the basement. there's so many avenues open to them at this point. He might skip it just because it's that annoying.
Yeah. Now, checking the... using the vanilla method to reach the big chest, just finding a big 20.
Yeah, the risk reward for bomb jumping over there without boots is not worth it at all, in my opinion. Because if you fall down that hole, that's, I believe, 2 floors you're falling down. Same as...
Well, it depends on where you fall, but yeah.
Right. But it's like the same as falling to Troll Dorm in the center hole. In terms of your time waste.
Ooh, speaking of which, that was almost there. All right, so 1 hammer smash for g3rd0, and oh, he goes down. Troll Dorm is troll, and the dorm will troll you.
If I wish Willard was here so he could chime in with his slide whistle. What I find funny, pretty good. What I find funny about Troll Dorm is that he stops moving if he's off the screen, and you can even see, you can even freeze him and have him like be on the screen but immobile, like you saw in Gyarados' screen there. And there is
a very
an
specific part of him that has to be off. I think it's the tail. If the tail is off the screen, then he doesn't move, or something like that.
But Gyarados just found the map, I believe, so he's either gonna have to go downstairs or just really hope that there's nothing good downstairs. And
looks like he's gonna be taking himself a little bit of a break.
Yep, going into the waiting room. Or the pot on head room, as some people play it.
Nice.
Checking his MySpace, Friendster, LinkedIn.
Oh wow. Are we pulling out all the old defunct social networks? So
I like how you say LinkedIn is defunct. I mean, it kind of is, but still.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing it's there for is annoying people.
Pretty much.
Let me get my orchid out.
So Gyarados is setting up a Death Warp here.
Yep.
Which is fine because he doesn't have a mirror and it's
He's gonna be disappointed.
Oh.
He picked up a bottle with a fairy in it.
That is true. Please, Gyarados. He realizes it.
He dropped it. Nice.
He probably knew it beforehand.
Well done.
So SuperNinTaylor is also not sleeping on Hera, which, I mean, it would be a pretty bad idea to do that. And we also get a high five. I think that might be like the first high five of the game.
Yeah. That feels like a clip. g3rd0 trolls the commentators.
Or maybe g3rd0's listening in.
No,
he's not. He's not.
No, we are not going to make any accusations that might seem like anybody's cheating, because that's not happening. Nobody cheats. Nobody cheats. Except for maybe the cheat.
That is true. There's also Spike Cave. Spiral Cave is kind of a pain to walk through, but with the boots at the end of it, that's pretty much the option.
Well, the resident sleeper cave required.
Yeah,
then.
that lined up pretty well. So g3rdo's pretty happy about that Spike Cave check. Let's see if SuperNinTaylor decides to go there as well.
All right, g3rd0 immediately heading for the nearby Bonk Rocks.
Not a bad play. But not really getting rewarded for it. And strangely enough, he just quit out, even though he has a flute to activate, I'm pretty sure. I think he might have forgotten. Hopefully he doesn't forget like entirely, because the flute isn't even selected in his menu.
Yeah. He needs to go activate it.
I mean, it looks like he's just gonna grab Spike Cave right now.
Spike Cave.
I don't really like this play just because I feel, I don't know. I like to clump my items together as much as possible, and if I got the book later on and had to come back here, I don't know. I mean, the results will speak for themselves, but this is not a play I would make. That's probably why I'm 1 and 2. Oh look, it's
book.
the book.
Take a look. It's in a book.
Proving me wrong.
Reading Spike Cave.
Now, honestly, it would have probably been better to just leave and turn in that that sweet ether tablet.
Yeah, maybe.
So SuperNinTaylor's finishing up on.
Well, how are you gonna get back?
I mean, he had the cane.
You don't have a mirror.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's again why I'm 1 and 2. Gyardo checking the desert ledge. Oh, it looks like he's just going into desert. Oh, yeah. They had to go into Ikina's cave. That's right.
Yeah, and desert is in a desert is a crystal, so you're gonna want to go in here and deal with this anyway. You've got the boots now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, so. But he still hasn't. Just realized he still hasn't activated that flute, and getting to desert with the flute is quite a bit faster.
That's true. Maybe he's trying to not give himself the option of going to Mire.
Ugh, yeah. I mean, with boots, it's a lot less of a pain. And it's...
I don't really mind Mire when it's required. Like, it's pretty consistently bad, you know?
Yeah. Gyardo also revealing that Desert Palace is boots blocked. So the boots are required. They're not just fast, they are required. Capital R. SuperNinTaylor opting not to do the Death Warp, which, I mean, that's fine. I'm just really curious about his next move.
Alright, so there's 100 rupees. We will have the big key in this chest. Then we'll get to see what's in the big chest, and then he'll head over to Land Molas to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Hello.
With the bow and silver arrows, land bows are a joke.
Yeah, pretty much. It does take a little finesse and a little skill to land those silver arrows on Land Molas, but I think both of these players are pretty good at that.
Right. So SuperNinTaylor's about to get his boots, which is good for him. He might not go to Spike Cave. I mean, like Spike Cave again, it's kind of out of the way. You don't necessarily want to go there if you don't have to. So we're gonna see a pretty big route divergence, I think.
Right. Let's see. So after this, I mean, the only thing I can think that's left would be
Mire.
Armos Knights themselves and Pod. That's it.
And Mire.
You don't have Titan's Mitts.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You can't do Ice Palace, you can't do Mire, and you can't do Turtle Rock. So,
okay. Yeah.
And you can't do Swamp Palace because you don't have the mirror. So it's pretty linear at this point. Until you find those Titan's Mitts.
Palace of Darkness
opens everything.
Palace of Darkness will be a good check, I think. So SuperNinTaylor's
that was my
also
first instinct after finding the bow that early. I've been like, I know Pod's a pendant, don't care.
Yeah, it's a pendant. Logic doesn't care that it's a pendant. And you have a bow and a hammer. A reasonable player might be like, oh, you know, it'd be nice if I had the mirror, but the rando logic is like, I don't care. Like,
just 20 rupees on Land Molas, and G3rd0 does an excellent job of just shooting them down with arrows. That was glorious.
Yep. It's very, I don't want to say NMG skill because you don't have the silvers at that point. Maybe like 100% skill.
Hundo skill.
So yeah, so since Meyer is blocked, Gyardo still seems to forget he has the flute. He's using the shovel, and it had that little Y icon, so hopefully he remembers.
So we're gonna go digging.
I don't understand this reluctance to avoid a pendant Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
So just a
And,
sewing kit
all right.
underground.
So there's the flute being pulled out.
Yep, that's good.
And
Thankfully you remembered.
I think we may have like simultaneous swag duck.
Yeah, looks like it.
Pretty close.
It's gonna be. Gyarado's at least gonna start before SuperNinTaylor's ends.
I don't have another set of lyrics put together yet, so
just do an oldie.
let's see. Oh, I forgot my lyrics. Where are they at?
I think you missed your chance.
I did. It's all right.
So SuperNinTaylor is going into desert, which is interesting. I mean, it's something they have to do. I don't see, but like, if they had the mirror, you know, it would probably be a faster check later on. By the logic, Palace of Darkness has been open for so long, though. And Gyarado's going to pick up that last item and escape. It was kind of interesting that he decided to eschew it earlier on, especially considering he got the early key pickup.
That's a good word.
Yep.
Eschew. I like it. It's a good word. Once had a T-shirt that said "eschew obfuscation."
Eschew obfuscation. I get it. So just an arrow upgrade in the rest of Escape. And Gyardo is probably going to be fluting to... No. Gyardo is going to be... What is Gyardo doing?
Wait, is he... I have no idea what he's doing. He doesn't have mitts.
Is he checking the ether tablet?
Maybe? And this is the only way to get there. Oh my goodness.
There's a whole palace full of darkness and chests.
There is a party in the back of that palace just waiting for you.
a whole mullet to explore.
I mean, you do have a bunch of business up front, but then there's the party in the back, and that's what you're looking for. 5 chests worth of party.
And it's not even a sequence break to get the items in Palace of Darkness. Like, if they didn't have the lamp, this play might make sense to me. But to me, it just feels like right now it just feels like.
All right, so g3rd0's finally biting the pod bullet.
This pendant reluctance meme in V26 does not fly.
Yeah,
they also
it's all about chest volume. You know?
Yeah. Just go to the places with the most bang for your buck. Like, if you're gonna spend a minute and a half climbing Death Mountain and then going back along the summit, I don't think it's worth your time.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been pretty solid had it been there, but I still wouldn't have felt bad about checking, you know, five items worth of chests in pod.
What would have been amazing, the most amazing item there, I think, would be the mirror.
that is just a, you know, basically the game is literally giving you the bird at that point.
Yeah, that's like VTorp and like VTorp's sentient seed generation algorithm, like just giving
you the old double deuce. The double deuce.
SuperNinTaylor not having as good luck on Landmo 1. But he does finally take them out with relative ease.
As stated before, it is not particularly easy to make those arrows happen.
The timing is harder than you might expect. g3rd0 getting kind of trolled by not a small key in that chest there, so he's going to have to take even longer time in pod.
Yep, and I think I know why he's didn't want to go to pod. Because it doesn't have the mirror.
Yeah.
And because pod sucks without the mirror.
It does, unless you can do the hammer yump. Especially considering he got the big key already, the hammer yump would be especially useful.
But I mean, even things like the very first chest, you want the hammer for that, or you want the mirror for that. You just want to speed it up as much as you can.
So let's see what we get. More keys, not at all unsurprising.
It's business time.
It's business time. I have that song. Gonna have that song stuck in my head. g3rd0 doing a nice swag.
Nice.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to learn that strat.
Very nice cane dash strat.
So we're gonna be getting a hammer yump here as well.
Pretty solid execution there.
Yep, just getting a little bit of love for his efforts, though.
Yep, but you also get access to this dark maze.
Is it the party?
Some of the party should be in here. Unfortunately, the party seems to be catered with Mexican food.
or it's like a rave party too.
Yeah,
people are just like chucking around their glow sticks. Not even
we did
caring
get some
who
bacon.
They hit. Yeah,
and
bacon.
Or the tempered sword, and that's always good.
Yeah, bacon is good. It doesn't help them from a routing perspective at this point, but it's definitely a relief to see.
And there's some bombs.
And this is where I start to get worried.
We are running low on party. So SuperNinTaylor is doing the other possibility, which is Armos itself.
Not terrible, since he has silvers and he has the boots already. I mean, this place is not going to get much faster.
Yeah. So there's the plate of nachos, and now we are down to just the vanilla big key chest and Helmosaur. We're gonna want to see something there, or.
So, by the logic, these first 4 chests, as you say in the business part, are very rarely progression. It's like over double the % chance to get progression in the party part of Mullet Mansion.
Yeah. And but only 3 of them can contain the bow, by the logic at the moment. Oh, right. So there wasn't anything on Armos. It was just the map.
Yeah, I thought they had everything.
Yeah, I guess I miscounted. Sorry
so
about
g3rd0 is obviously going to be killing Helmosaur. It's pretty much only option at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean, So, I'm thinking there are still a couple of things we haven't looked at that are accessible. Specifically,
Bombos?
Pyramid and Catfish.
Ooh, that's true.
Bombos isn't available because you need the mirror.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But Pyramid and Catfish are completely available, so that's 3 items I can think of. And I think that's it.
Yeah, the reluctance to check Catfish is pretty strong in this version, especially considering so many players go directly to Waterfall Fairy and Zora early on, which like a lot of players in previous versions would love to get that mirror and go to Catfish, mirror back to Zora area and do that, and then like that's all in one swoop, and it saves a lot of time.
But I do like this play going to pod and then, leaving and going to Pyramid Catfish. That's about the most efficient routing you can do with it.
Yeah, I'm not, like, it's kind of annoying to walk out of pod, but there's really not many faster ways to get there unless you've killed Aghanim, and then why do you need a fast way to get to Pyramid?
Yeah, because you've done already been there. What's wrong with you? All right, so g3rd0 taking 17 hammers to the face of Helmasaur King. Then we'll see if he opts for spin strats or arrow strats. Looks like arrow strats.
Yeah, the one silver to his royal jewels, or jewel, is pretty irresistible.
And Butter Sword.
Wow, so it's the Palace of Swords today.
Yeah. So, again, nothing here, really.
Yeah, no mirror kind of blocks off a lot of avenues. Like, they can't even visit King's Tomb at this point.
So we're gonna have to find either Mirror or Titan's Mitts, more than likely, in one of these two locations.
Cape with a item at Bumper. I don't know if they
saw Big 20 on Bumper Cave. Don't hold me to it.
But then there's also Mushroom, and I guess that's about it. That could be progression.
Actually, I'm probably thinking of this morning's race.
Yeah.
I keep confusing these things.
It is strange to have a pyramid check this late in the game, honestly.
Yep. Over an hour in, and no one has seen the pyramid. Well, what do we have?
We got a
rupee.
A little 5.
So Catfish.
Catfish having value. What version is this?
It's crazy talk. I need to step away for a second.
All right. SuperNinTaylor having a bit of trouble with these. I don't know what they're called. Beetle things. Not having the swag. Samaria punt. So we're gonna be seeing what g3rd0 gets from Catfish here in a second. Unless us commentators are forgetting about something. This is pretty much the only spot they haven't checked. And it's the mitts, which that opens up a ton. That opens up like 3 dungeons probably. And so we're probably going to be seeing a dungeon immediately, I think.
So Titan's Mitts at Catfish?
Yep.
All right.
Probably going to be seeing a dungeon. g3rd0 looks like he's going directly to ice. Is he? That's an interesting route when he has the flute. But
well, I mean, you don't want to do Mire.
Well, I meant like he had the flute. He could have fluted to 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is that. But it's about the same ish, maybe. I don't know. It's not that far off.
I always feel bad in this first room with the jellyfish to not have full HP and not be able to just sword beam them, because hitting them with the fire rod takes them a while to burn. And as much as I love to see jellyfish burn, it's time better spent getting ahead of my opponent.
So there is still the possibility for Mirror at Pedestal.
I think that might be it, unless it's like a fetch quest that leads to Mirror.
Right. And we've seen most of the fetch quests. We haven't seen Mushroom yet. That's it.
So SuperNinTaylor is a little bit behind. He's not as behind as he seems, though, because he did finish Eastern Palace.
Right.
I assume SuperNinTaylor is going to be getting his inevitable Titan's Mitt immediately after this dungeon as well.
Right. Just gonna head over to Catfish, get that done. So g3rd0 now coming up on, one of my favorite tricks in the game, the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Another trick that's easier than it looks.
It is, to be honest. And it's one of the tricks I recommend learning, like, right when you start trying to do this.
Yeah, the amount of
saves so much time.
Yeah, the amount of value you get from doing the Ice Palace bomb jump is just absolutely insane. Like, even if you're not planning on running like NMG or something, just even in a rando, not having to deal with the two loops through Ice Palace meme. So g3rd0 getting just a key here. I believe that's going to allow him to do the entire dungeon pretty quickly, depending on his routing.
You can get these done. The only one that's kind of out of the way is #that1 chest over by the jellies.
Yeah.
But it's possible you may not even need to go there.
Right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you don't find a key when you do the return trip here, and you can't get into that room, does that mean that that chest will always have a key in it? I think it might.
By
the logic.
Maybe?
Or not by the logic.
I don't actually have a great picture in my head of how Ice Palace is laid out, because I'm not that experienced with the game.
Yeah. You need to overlay the rooms on top of each other to get any real understanding.
Well, there's both the dungeon items, or all the dungeon items.
Right, so g3rd0's going to be doing a bomb jump here, which is really nice. Otherwise, he'd have to go back upstairs and then fall down the hole in the one trap room.
I've seen a couple of different ways to make that happen. I guess he did the standard way. I just kind of winged it once.
I myself have never even attempted it. So that's is that 2 or 3 items now? Or is that even just 1?
It very well might be 1, because he picked up small keys and dungeon items. What's left is the big chest, that one chest, which he just went and got. So he did that. Big chest and cold stare. That's it.
Right. So I believe this is probably going to be an item, yeah.
And then the last item will be a cold stare, looks like.
So yeah, if cold stare has a key, this dungeon is actually, I believe, cane blocked. Am I correct? By the logic.
Yes. Yes, because it will not allow you to key lock yourself out.
Yeah, I had a fun time in this dungeon before I started.
g3rd0 is going to use
fine.
keeps faking me out.
Butter Sword, this should be a breeze.
Oh,
it's
man,
pretty hard to lose to Cold Stare with Butter Sword and Blue Mail. I did not see.
In the middle of explosions, I didn't see squat. I mean, we're looking for mirror.
I'm just assuming it was Ice Rod because that's the only item that would make sense to be at Cold Stare. No, it doesn't look like it was anything.
Not. I think g3rd0 also didn't see it, so he just looked at his inventory to find out.
I've never seen that before. Maybe it was a bit too high up on the screen.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, SuperNinTaylor gonna pick up those mitts. How many frustration slashes? None? Okay.
Where is g3rd0 going? Because he didn't find the mirror.
Yeah. I believe he's doing Fat Fairy.
Ah, okay.
Because Ice Palace and Tower of Hera.
Yeah. Fat Fairy, I think, is a pretty easy place to forget. He's also picking up some extra bombs with his
Why not?
rupee hordes.
When you got the money for it.
Oh, looks like he messed up his.
So he's trying to do like a damage boost so he could dash with it. Is that what that is?
Yeah. So if you get damaged, and start dashing, within a certain time frame, you won't drop the bomb. But
the only way you'll drop the bomb from dashing is if you are in a state where your movement is free.
Right.
That's why, like, you can dash off the hook shot.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like someone set us up the bomb here on Gyarados' screen, and we're going to be seeing what's inside the pyramid. And it is the mirror.
The mirror.
So that is, I believe that's go mode. Yeah.
This go mode, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the Fat Fairy's long-term storage company.
So in this particular case, going into pendant dungeons wasn't worth it, except for Buttersword. That's about it.
Yeah. So guess who feels dumb for talking about Pod the whole time?
Me?
This guy.
Okay.
Who has two thumbs and feels dumb for talking about Pod? This guy.
I mean, I can't see your thumbs, but I don't think you should feel dumb about it. Like, Palace of Darkness has shown over many seeds to be very lucrative, especially if it's like your last option or one of them.
Yeah, and this is the thing. When you've got Pod, or the thing is, you make the play that gives you the highest chance, you think, of finding items or getting the progression you need. Regardless of whether it works out, it was still the right play.
Yeah. I mean, personally, yeah, like you're saying, like if you went to Pod when you had like the Ether Tablet to check and the item ended up in Ether Tablet, you're not dumb for going into Palace of Darkness. You played the logic, especially considering Palace of Darkness was open very early. You play the logic as you saw it.
So Instant Rage, the mirror was at the Thick Fairy Cave, or the Base Fairy.
Base Fairy? Oh.
Yeah. Base Fairy as opposed to Treble Fairy.
Okay. So Gyarados going to have a really quick Swamp Palace. I mean, SuperNinTaylor is going to have a very quick Swamp Palace as well once he gets to it. It's just more of a question of when.
Based Fairy? Yes.
Because honestly, I think a better check than the Pyramid Fairy, the Base Fairy, would have been to go towards Turtle Rock and check East Death Mountain again.
Yeah, the Eastern Death Mountain was a good play. But considering you had Fat Fairy there, that seems like it's pretty good. That way you don't have to go all the way up to Turtle Rock, not knowing that you're gonna finish, and then have to come back later.
Yep, and so after Swamp, Gyarados just gonna run off to do Armos, and then it's G-Tower. SuperNinTaylor, like, I could see him going in many different directions at this point.
Yeah.
And none of them are going to be good for him, except for one.
Yep. I don't think Fat Fairy is I don't think it's too far fetched. I think it's quite likely that he chooses it, but you never know.
Right. Gyarados not doing the fast strat for Argus, sadly, to just hold your sword out and kill the puffs as they come to you.
Oh wait, is that what you do?
Yeah, well, with Gold Sword you can do it that way, and it requires some timing.
Right.
Otherwise you lose your poke.
Because the poke would deal tempered damage and it would kill it.
Yeah. And there's a way to do it with tempered, but it's harder because you have to set up hook speed while you're holding your sword out.
How about no?
Yeah, it's one of the harder tricks in the game, I think. So Gyarado's getting some of his magic back. I think he might have forgotten that he has that blue potion unless he used it.
Oh, he used it
Okay.
on Cold Stare. Remember?
No, I mean SuperNinTaylor.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So he gets his, I believe, full magic meter back here, so he's not going to need to use it.
So g3rd0 still needs to go finish Eastern Palace, but that's going to be a very quick run.
Yep. I'm very interested in where SuperNinTaylor is going after this.
Yep, you never know.
Uh-oh. We got a loose Cold Stare.
Yeah. Cold
But
Stare
with the butter
would
sword
like to welcome you to his party.
Yeah. Cold Stare is not a fun fight if you drop that first clump.
Ooh. Arrow strats on the Stalfos.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, the timing is kind of strict. You've got to release your spin at just the right time and make sure not to get knocked by the silly ice from the ceiling.
Right. In one of my tournament races, I actually died to Cold Stare with Blue Mail and Butter Sword, which is why I keep bringing it up.
That's that is a sad thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I could pull the same thing. But there
so you see on SuperNinTaylor's screen, he is not doing the Fake Fairy.
That is going to be unfortunate.
I also didn't see what medallion was required for Meyer. For his sake, I hope it was Bombos.
Bombos? Yeah. Because Bombos is mirror locked, and we know this.
It might have been because he did not go inside.
Out.
So
we
starting
might
at
Thick Fairy play.
Yeah, starting at here is a good idea.
Oh, here he goes.
At this point, though, Gyarados is literally on his way.
Yep.
To Ganon's tower.
So everybody knows.
Right.
Gyarados has 7 crystals. So I believe we know what that means.
What does that mean?
Well, it means we are headed to Ganon's tower, and it's time to make your guesses at where you think the big key will be.
So where do you think it will be?
There are 22 separate locations. You can give me a number between 1 and 22, or you can give me a specific location where you believe it is. And when I say specific, I mean specific. Rando room doesn't count. That's 4 chests. You can't do it.
Right.
My prediction, as always, because I am contractually obligated on account of my name, is Bob's chest.
Okay, so the chest before Ice Armos.
Correct.
Now, is it Bob's chest if Bob is dead?
It is because, I mean, just because you kill someone and take their stuff, does it mean it's not theirs?
Are you sure?
With? I mean, in the eyes of the law, you still committed theft.
Okay, I thought murder would be higher priority.
Yeah, I mean, there's murder as well. All right, so SuperNinTaylor picking up that mirror.
For me, it's always 8.
8, you say?
Yeah, especially when it's not.
It's always 8, except when it's not.
No, especially.
Especially when it's not. Okay, so 8 would be on the traditional route. That's the Fire Bar map room.
Mm-hmm. So Gyarados has a lead of about a Go Mode, Swamp Palace, and a Death Mountain Ascent and Ganon Tower opening.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting his 2 keys from this first room, so he'll be doing the standard strat now. Yeah.
So Right side, that's going to be 2. There's going to be 4 chests up ahead.
I'll most
you can
likely
grab.
I'll most likely mirror out afterwards.
Yeah. There is the possibility he keeps going and heads to Ice Armos, but that's a rare play that I've seen. It's a valid one.
Yeah, most plays are
Not-
valid in this dungeon.
Yeah.
So Gyarados getting a little trolled by these Gibdos here. His first attempt at crossing this room was foiled.
Yeah, somebody ought to give those Gibdos a beating.
So far it's looking like right side is not paying off, and Gyarados switching to mirror is just going to be grabbing the key from this room and then leaving.
Seems like the play. All right, so Gyarados heading over to the left-hand side of Ganon's tower. What will we find on the torch?
So that was what, 6 items? This is 7.
It is a piece of
Despite
heart.
any-
I get to live.
Good. Despite any naysayers out there, the torch item does count.
Oh yeah, it totally counts.
So we're looking for big key in the next chest. Unfortunately.
All right. So, 20 rupees, 10 arrows. There it is. The big
That's
key
number
in
10.
chest number 10.
So if you said 10, you get a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds. And I believe we're tacking on Herfie's Eternal Love and Affection.
Yeah, that is the standard play. I will also for some people, for one lucky winner, you will get the greatest swag duck hits of Dr. Bob-tastic stuck in your head.
Okay. See, that's why you didn't do it this time. You wanted to keep the mystique for one of our lucky winners. Nobody actually did a 10. The
Yeah.
closest we had is 11, but the closest without going over looks like 7.
Yeah, well 8, because you said 8.
Oh, so I win. Cool.
By Price is Right rules.
I think those are the rules we're using.
I mean, I think everything is Price is Right rules. That's how it works in school, right?
Yeah. So Gyarados making pretty quick work of this gauntlet so far, despite getting a kind of trolling pattern.
No, I didn't do the anthem this time. I missed my words and didn't have time.
SuperNinTaylor is finishing up Argus here. He'll be able to head over to Ganon's tower as well. We will not be doing another item guess though.
Nah, because we know where it is. Now he could make up a little bit of time by taking the traditional left side route instead of the right side route if he chooses to.
So,
but of course, there's no way he could know that was the case.
Yeah, Gyarados killing Landmo 2 with the same efficiency that he killed Landmo 1. And interestingly enough, he didn't take the safety in the form of powdering the Bunny Beam. So with 5 hearts, I'm not too worried, but he doesn't really have anything at this point as safeties, other than whatever fairies he comes across.
Yeah, so if you guys are interested in a Swag Duck anthem, you guys should hear the one I did this morning.
He's also incredibly low on magic in this part. We're having to resort to...
oh, wow.
Yeah, to lamp strats.
Yeah, I think he'll go grab this pot.
Yeah, that's a good assumption. But I believe the bulk of the dungeon is over with, and he'll be able to powder 2 things in one of the upcoming rooms to get his safety back.
Yeah, if he wants to. Yeah. Gyarados seems like the kind of YOLO guy. Nope, he's got the powder out.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if any player would go into Ganon. He's not even picking up the second fairy. He's just going with 9 hearts.
Just doing it.
I mean, 9 hearts, Butter Sword, Ganon, silver arrows. It's
Couple of dashes here, and Trolldorm goes down.
yeah, he got revenge for the first one because he did get Trolldormed, I believe.
Looks like we're not going to get to see what's in that final chest, but
I
I
think
believe I believe the skipping of the chest at the end is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah. And it was probably, strangely enough, like a mushroom sundae. That's what I think it was from Dairy Queen. I don't think that would ever be a thing, especially considering I don't like mushrooms.
That is a sad state of affairs.
Ooh, we get a nice triple here. Gyarados. I'm pretty sure that was a triple. I saw Aghanim actually fly backward 3 times, and I believe that was only a 3-round kill.
Excellent.
So as Gyarados goes into Ganon, SuperNinTaylor is still stuck in the basement, and he took the same routing, which isn't going to save him any time, unfortunately. So at this point, unless Gyarados fails at Ganon so many times, I believe he's got this in the bag.
Sounds pretty good.
We've also got a Weetabix seed.
Mm-hmm.
Shoutouts to Christos Owen.
Is that what that is?
Well, I mean, it's a cereal, but I think like Christos was the person who like put that in.
Oh, okay. I'm unaware of that particular cereal. Mainly, I assume it's not sold where I'm from.
Yeah, it's probably a very British cereal. But Gyarados making short work of phases 1 and 2 of Ganon, and phase 3 is gonna fall down pretty much as quickly as any of the others. I think he's more or less safe at this point, unless he gets clipped by a fire bat and gets knocked off the cliff. Unfortunately, he misses his first firing of the silver arrows.
Yeah. Hopefully the rest of these will go a little more smoothly.
Is this a double? It's not even a single. Gyarados might be a little bit nervous at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He did waste some time going to the ether tablet.
Just one more, and there we go. Gyarados.
Unless he pulls a... Yep, unless he pulls a Willow J. Bradley, he'll be finishing this race in first place, which he has done with an SRL time of 129.51.
Indeed. Very good. Sub 130 in this seed. I mean, it was pretty straightforward seed. A lot of it was very linear, kind of funneled you toward one silly item.
Yeah, this was a seed that really rewarded following the items, except for the Palace of Darkness thing. The fact that they probably were helped by the fact that they didn't check Catfish until later.
Right, so our winner today does not appear to have a microphone, so we will not be hearing from him today, but we've still got SuperNinTaylor to finish off.
Yep, he's making his way through Gauntlet as well. Has a lot of arrows, so should go a bit faster. Oh, he did get trolled by that Beamos a bit.
Yep, there's the Beamos in here. A lot of times, you know, you're focusing on the enemies that you're trying to kill, and the Beamos are just kind of moving around, and you're like, they're out the corner of my eye. It's like, nope, they're gonna shoot you. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think this game has the worst Beamos in the history of the Zelda series. And I think it's also the first time they show up, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I can't think of any BMOS in any other game.
So SuperNinTaylor getting a bit trolled by Landmo 2, pretty much the same way as he got trolled by the first one, by getting 2 of them down pretty much immediately, and then the third one just says none of it.
Yeah, I think the third one died in approximately the same place he died last time. Is there anything more satisfying than wrecking a bunch of Wizrobes with a Cane of Samaria block?
Not really, no.
It's pretty satisfying. Gonna put together a video on YouTube in the oddly satisfying compilation. It's just gonna be tons of Wizrobe killings.
I believe I saw Andy using a Cane of Samaria strat in the first room in Misery Mire. Well, not the first room, but with the room with all the
room that you have to kill everything in.
Yeah, and it was so incredibly fast with Cane.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to me that there are these strats being developed that are completely useless outside of Rando.
Yeah, in the normal game you can't do that because you got to go get to Cane in the silly dungeon itself. But in Randomizer, absolutely. So many little strategies being developed. Like I think that bomb jump in Spectacle Rock I was talking about earlier was just rando developed for no reason.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Oh, maybe. It should probably have been useful for at least like 100%. But I don't know. And Trinex, or not Trinex 2, Moldorm 2 is going down, and what was that? A nice burrito in the final chest in the game?
I believe that was the case.
Maybe it was an ice cream burrito?
Ice cream burrito.
That might be good, right?
Where would you... Why would you say an ice cream burrito?
Because of the Dairy Queen?
Oh, yeah.
So SuperNinTaylor getting, I believe, a triple and then a double. He couldn't have even gotten the double triple, but the sick 3-2-1 Aga 2 strat.
Pretty good. Hit him with every single projectile that was possible.
So SuperNinTaylor is pretty healthy going into Ganon.
One moment.
SuperNinTaylor getting his fix of Weetabix. Love from Ganon. I feel like I need to eat Weetabix at some point just to experience the true awesomeness for my incredible insides.
And SuperNinTaylor coming in to Phase 3 of the Ganon fight.
Yep, getting the same patterns of warps as Gyardo, which is a very nice change when they re-added Ganon warps.
Yeah, that's if people can deal with RNG as long as everyone gets the same RNG.
Yep, I don't even feel mad if Ganon decides to teleport 20 times, you know? I just know that I'm not the only one experiencing that, and that makes me happy.
So SuperNinTaylor pulls off the double.
Yep, looks like
and this might be another one. Getting
a couple doubles.
Double, toil and trouble. Ganon going down the bubble. That's not a word.
Maybe. But SuperNinTaylor also finishing second place with 1:36.17.
All right, so 1 hour, 36 minutes, 17 seconds. That's going to be about 6.5 minutes between the two players.
Yeah, which is interesting because Gyardo did gamble on Ether Tablet. Although, did SuperNinTaylor do that?
No. No, he didn't gamble on Ether Tablet. What he did was he went to some other places before going to Fat Fairy. So he went to Mire Shed and some other places like that.
So SuperNinTaylor will be joining us for a quick interview.
Looks like it.
And I believe I'll be polling, or he's being.
Hello, SuperNinTaylor, GG.
Hello, thank you.
Yeah, good game. So, my first question. Your opponent, very early on, decided to go to a certain location that was very out of the way, the Ether Tablet.
Oh, okay.
Did you have that in your mind the whole time, that it could have been something?
I did have the Ether Tablet in my mind. I really didn't want to go all the way back there.
Okay. So you and Gyardo both decided to do the Pyramid Fairy pretty quickly after clearing Palace of Darkness and clearing Palace of Darkness and then going to Catfish, getting the mitts, and then doing Ice Palace. I guess like what influenced that idea rather than visiting, say, Dark Death Mountain?
Well, I think part of it was if I got to Dark Death Mountain and I saw I could go into Turtle Rock, I probably would have done so. So I didn't want to like put myself in that situation. I wanted to like full clear a crystal dungeon first, make sure I get the crystal done, and then if I'm in the situation where I can get into Turtle Rock, I want it to be a situation where there's like not much else to check. That's kind of why I went straight to Ice. Plus, the Fat Fairy had something to do with it too.
So was Meyer Bombos? We didn't quite see.
It was Bombos, yes.
Oh, good.
that would have been.
I wasn't gonna go in anyway, even if I could. But
good.
I was just checking the Meyer Shed first and checking the medallion, and then I was actually gonna go straight to. What did I do after that? I did the Fat Fairy right after that, didn't I?
Fat Fairy right after that, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Fat Fairy right after that, and if that didn't give anything, then I was going to do the whole Death Mountain and Turtle Rock sequence.
So
and hope there is nothing in the sewers. I knew I didn't check that yet either.
Yeah. I believe it was arrow upgrade,
something silly.
So one thing, and I kind of wish Gyardo was here as well. Why not Pod? Like, why did you put off Pod? Like, you and Gyardo both put off Pod until it was like that and the Pyramid and Catfish as options.
Yeah. Well, I kept on having like crystals that I could clear, like Thieves Town, Skullwoods. Then I went to Hera. Where did I find the book? Oh yeah, the book was in Spike Cave.
Yeah.
I was on Death Mountain, and I remember I got the blue cane pretty early, and I was like, there's a good chance there could be something in Spike Cave. It gave him the blue cane, so I just wanted to quickly check that. Plus, I knew Gyardo's a really strong opponent, and I figured if I could check something that a lot of people put off and it actually has something good, it would maybe give me a chance. That's also why I went to Spike Cave, which gave me a book. Then that opened up Deserts, which is another crystal, so I just kept on bouncing between crystals I could actually clear. I didn't go to Pod until I actually like ran out of dungeons I could clear.
Right. Okay. For me personally, like if I have the ability to clear Pod, pendant or crystal, I will probably do it. But in this case,
that's fair.
You didn't have the mirror. That was like your last item before go mode.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it had nothing.
Yeah. Well, it had 2 swords, which is good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have been stuck doing Master Sword Ganon.
Did it have 2?
Yes. Buttersword was in the Dark Maze, and
oh right.
Or what? The Tempered Sword was in the Dark Maze, and then Buttersword.
Yeah, Butter was Helmasaur. That's pretty cool.
What did Cold Stare drop?
What is it, like +5 bomb capacity or something stupid?
Okay, because on Gerdo's screen we could not see it. It was behind explosions.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's funny. But yeah, I felt a little off that game. Like, I don't know, my execution just felt off. I couldn't get my item dashes. I was miscounting items in dungeons. Just a little off, unfortunately. But I don't know if I would have been able to beat Girdle anyway. Maybe with better routing.
Maybe, and here's the thing: is I think the late mitts might have helped both of you. So I think,
Yeah,
like,
probably.
if either of you decided to get mitts early on, you might have been tempted to waste a lot of time in Turtle Rock and Misery Mire, or I guess
Yeah,
not
mitts.
Misery Mire.
Definitely limited our options.
It is rare to see a race where neither player even visits Dark Death Mountain outside of going to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, do you have any final thoughts about that seed or anything?
Not really. I mean, it was fun. I don't really have much else to say, but thanks for commentating, guys. Hopefully, I'll get the next one.
Yep, you'll be
So you're
2-2.
2-2, and
Yeah.
that leaves you still very much alive for the group stage. So hopefully you'll be able to get there.
Yeah, guess we'll see. All right. See you guys. GG Gerdo if you're listening.
Yep, good game.
All
Good
right.
games to-
So yeah, thank you so much for both of your racing, and it was quite enjoyable to watch.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll go back and watch it, but I'm gonna head out now. So,
All right, thanks for stopping in.
see you guys.
So I guess that's about gonna do it for us.
Yep. So make sure to give these runners a follow. They deserve your support because they have done a great job showing off their skills today. Make sure to follow the Speed Gaming Network 1 through 4 all the way down.
Yeah.
And even the Randomizer Mania Network, because that's where the secondary tournament is happening. Because you don't want to miss any rando that you don't have to.
Yep, and I believe there might be some rando going on right now.
Yeah, I believe the Christos Owen and Amazing Ambrose match is going on right now. I'm gonna go watch that here in a second. Pretty great. But on that note, thank you so much to our tracker. I believe it was Magus doing it.
Mhm.
So yeah, thank you so much to our tracker, and thank you so much to our restreamer today. That was Clifford, Clifford, the big red dog over there. And thank you, sir, Ruble, for commentating with me. It's been a pleasure.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Dr. Bob-tastic.
I was like, I didn't go to evil medical school to be called Mr. No. All right. So thank you all for watching. It has been a pleasure commentating for you tonight, and I will see you later. This is Dr. Bob-tastic signing off.
So long.